Hey guys, it's Renee, and today we continue our series called The One. This series is going to be all about God and how He should be number one. Last week we talked about a guy named Paul. He was a missionary who traveled near and far to tell others about Jesus. While in Athens, Greece, he noticed that people all over were worshiping idols and didn't know about the one true God. So from week to week, we're going to discuss how Paul describes the one true God to the people in Athens. Paul says in Acts 17:24-25, He is the God who made the world. He also made everything in it. He is the Lord of heaven and earth. He doesn't live in temples built by human hands. He is not served by human hands. He doesn't need anything. Instead, He Himself gives life and breath to all people. He also gives them everything else they have. So here, Paul is trying to help the people to see that God is our creator. So if we want to know what God created, we must start at the beginning. In Genesis, we see that God created all things. Genesis 1 says God created the heavens and the earth. The earth didn't have a shape, and it was empty. There was darkness over the surface of the waves. At that time, the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. Day 1, God created light and separated the light from the darkness, calling the light day and the darkness night. Day 2, God created the seas and the sky.
That looks really cool.
Day 3, God created the dry ground and called the dry ground land and the gathered waters seas. But He also created plants. Day 4, God created the sun, moon, and the stars to give light to the earth and to govern and separate the day and the night. And star. Hold on, I dropped my star. Star. Okay, day 5. God created every living creature of the seas and every winged bird, blessing them to multiply and fill the waters and the sky with life. So, birds and fish.
Renee, you sure about this?
Yep, just throw them to me.
All right. Here we go. We got more. Oh, you're dropping stuff. There's a bird.
Okay, day 6, God created the animals to fill the earth. On day 6, God also created man and woman, Adam and Eve, in His own image to commune with Him. He blessed them and gave them every creature in the whole earth to rule over and care for and cultivate.
You got more. Hold on, here comes the monkey.
Day 7, God had finished His work of creation and He rested on the 7th day, blessing it and making it holy. Now, as I hold all these things, I soon realize that it's too much. Isn't it pretty awesome to know that we have a God that can hold all of His creation together? And after reading about God's creation, we know there is no one on earth who can do such a task. He made all things in a way that reflects His glory and power, such as sunsets, the night sky, mountains, crashing waves, lions, waterfalls, babies, storms, and redwood trees. Okay, I think you guys get the point, but what you should know is that God is the author and He created all things. We are His creation. He writes this story and we are the characters that should reflect His goodness. And if you don't know much about the beginning, people messed up. When God created the first man and woman, God told them that they ruled over the land and all the creatures on the earth. But He also told them to not eat from a specific tree in the garden. Well, guess what? They did. All because Satan came to them in the form of a snake and told them that they could be like God. So people, or the characters in God's story, wanted control over the story. We wanted to be like God and we disobeyed Him. And from that moment, sin came into the world. People were separated from God because He is so perfect and we aren't. But God, who is love and who created all things, wasn't done with people. He created a way for us to be with him, and that is through his son Jesus. And that is great news. So if you ever thought, who created everything? It's our God. He is the one who created all things and created a way for us to live with him.